2 people dead by ICE, Renee Good, and now Alex Pretti. There are, I think that's the 5th since September.
ICE? They have to be jobless losers. Not that you're a loser if you don't have a job. What person would quit their job to go do this instead?
Prior to this happening, 7 Democrats broke with Democrats to vote with Republicans to pass through this bill, which had something like an additional $10 billion to ICE. Tom Suozzi from New York is one who he had to send out an email to all his. He got so much pushback.
Guys, I'm sorry about that. I thought it was something else entirely. I didn't know.
I said I can live with one woman being executed, but when they did that second guy, that's when I said, hey, you know what? That one's on me. Did you see that thing with Edward Norton? Very funny. I think he's sitting next to Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen, and Olivia Wilde is nodding along the whole time, and Seth Rogen honestly looked a little uncomfortable. Can we get a nod out of Seth Rogen on this?
Seth Rogen sucks ass now.
Does he? I don't...
Their heydays behind them, now they're just, I don't know, they're just not funny to me anymore. Don't tell them I said that. Hey everybody, welcome back. We've got a special edition of the show this week because Emil is sick and he's very ill.
No,
they had to lock him up in the hospital. He's got a new strain of bat, the new mystery Indian illness.
I was at a wet market.
Yeah, you were at a wet market. I said, you got to stay going to those dry markets, man. The dry markets is where you won't get sick. And he ate a bat, and now here we are. A Chinese Indian guy gave him a bat. It says, slurp on this.
That's not true. I got snowed in. I got snowed in New York City. Ever heard of it?
You got Edward Snowden.
And I got Edward Snowden in New York City. We released government secrets. Zoran Mamdani put me to work. I was digging out sanitation trucks. Morning to night. Did I get any poop?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you asked?
Did you get any poop on you?
From the sanitation truck.
Yeah.
First thought, poop?
Sanitation truck. Oh, I was thinking of like a thing that takes out the, slurps out the porta potty, not garbage.
I think you're always thinking poop. Thinking
That's
poop.
Not true. Anyway, we've got a great show for everybody today, despite being on... What's this program called? Riverside?
Yeah. We're on riverside.com.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about the ICE shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That's what I was going to say. Is it going to be a great show? I feel sick. I feel sick in my stomach.
Yeah, it's not going to be the most uplifting, but we're just going to talk about it and our thoughts on it and our what we're thinking happens next and hereafter and the effects that it had on the entire political climate and literally what's going on right now with the Trump administration. And then if we've got time, we're going to probably get to this stuff about just the markets and
maybe a little TikTok, And
also, we have some really cool news for you guys. We have new merch coming very soon.
Oh yeah, very soon.
Not only that, but perhaps the even bigger piece of news is that the new acid video is ready.
Which a lot of people were worried we were going to bury. And we thought about it because it was just footage of me having the worst time I've ever had in my life, maybe. But we figured you guys deserve to see me have the worst time I've ever had.
Yeah, we both, I did not like that day, but we had
fun. It was a bad day.
We did have fun regardless. And that will come out on Monday, I think. And we're going to have a special... Pretty much
Monday for you, Monday for us.
Monday for everybody. And it's going to have a longer version that's twice as long just for subscribers. So EMIL'S.com, you sign up, you can watch it. I think the full cut is 46 minutes. Something
if you want the full freak out of me all my claustrophobic glory on an old train with no way out.
That sucked shit. Oh my God. just all the world's ugliest people. Anyway, all
It's
right,
all in there, folks.
it's all in there. Oh boy. Well, so in case you've been living under a rock, you know who to say hi to. You know who to say hi to. The bugs. Because what day did it happen? Saturday?
Hmm.
It was Saturday.
I'm
Uh
having a real bad time with it's basically, it feels like I've probably said it so many times. I've been doing such a good job of trying to, I brick my phone and I'm like,
yeah.
look, I don't need to be on Instagram. I don't need to be on Twitter. I can log off. And then it feels like something happens every weekend where Sarah's like, do you want to know? And I'm like, should I know?
That's how she leads with? That's what she leads with is, "Hey, do you wanna know?"
This one, she, I was leaving the house and she said she was deciding whether or not to tell me. And then when I came back, she was like, I just have to tell you. I shot another person. I was like, no. And I was like, I didn't want to know. And she's like, yeah, but I had to. And then obviously I'm just looking stuff up and it's horrific. And I mean, it's worse than you could even imagine. That's the thing. When she's like, I got to tell you, you're like, all right, how bad could it be? And you're like, oh, wow, even way worse than I thought, way
Yeah.
worse than I actually could have imagined. And I thought she was exaggerating when she said like they shot him 10 times. I was going, yeah, okay, come on. Um, and then it's just, you think it can't get worse, and it can get way worse.
Yeah. Um, so his name was was it Alex Pretti?
Yeah.
Alex Pretti, and he an important distinction that I've seen is that it wasn't a protest yet. It became a protest after he got shot. He was there, from what I saw, as what, a legal observer?
Yeah. Observing ice.
Yeah, and I mean, you can clearly see beforehand, he's holding his phone landscape mode. He's watching the ice guys. He's chirping a little bit, as is his right. He's not interfering. He's not
He's
doing
blowing his
anything.
whistle.
He had a whistle. I didn't even think he was blowing one.
Oh, maybe he didn't have a whistle.
Someone else did, because you can hear it going off. Uh, and then there's a woman who's also not really doing anything. She's sort of getting in the face of one of the guys, and that ice guy just shoves her to the ground. And Alex, our good Samaritan, goes to help her up. And in doing so, the ICE agent starts fucking tussling with him and wraps him up. All the other guys swarm him, and he's truly like, he's still just holding his phone and like going like hands up, showing that he's not a threat. And yeah, I mean,
I mean, there's a very good. I think I don't I don't necessarily recommend anyone go and seek it out. It's pretty brutal. But before this, just to at least have a better understanding of it, because I watched a brief video and I was like, obviously watching people um, get executed is not a thing I enjoy, but
mhm.
for the sake of this, just to be able to talk about, the New York Times did basically like a 6-minute breakdown of from different angles, and
Yeah, I saw that.
it's horrific. Also, you kind of alluded to the fact that he was putting himself in between the ICE officers, and I think it's 2 different women. They're assaulting.
Two dangerous
Uh,
criminal women, mind you.
yeah,
Super
I think
dangerous.
it is. It's, I don't know, this. It's impossible to not. It's impossible to not at least note the irony of these right wing guys living out these insane fantasies. They kind of fancy themselves, I don't know, medieval knights, or all of this imagery that they put in things, and they're protecting the
Pax
homeland.
Europa.
Yeah, and they're like protecting women, and this guy they executed is actually doing that. He's actually stepping in between these brutal state-sponsored thugs who are just pushing women to the ground from point blank range, laying into them with chemical I don't even know. Mace seems like an understatement. I mean, these people are covered in this like orange goo.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are going to have all kinds of problems. But this guy was actually doing what these people think they're doing.
Yeah.
Um,
I was worried when they started showing the other angles that you were going to see him reaching for his concealed carry gun. You do not, because he did
no,
not. It was taken from him, which was probably the only smart move done by anyone in that, or done by any of the ICE agents at least. Uh, Removing that from the, and then did we still not know if he accidentally fired it, and then it made them all think.
that's what I saw. But if you watch the New York Times thing, it looks like the guy who takes it, I think that happens after. I think that shot goes off after. Um, but he's basically the guy who shoots that first shot is still messing with another woman. He pulls out his mace to hit her. It malfunctioned. He pulls back a little bit to try to adjust it. I guess he can't get it going. Draws his gun on Alex Pretti. Uh, Shoots him.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean it's
And
it's
then all of
absolutely
them,
shocking.
yeah, like a
Yeah,
cartoon, they all just fucking lay into him. I also thought that
a
maybe,
lifeless body, a
yeah,
lifeless body. They're
oh yeah, no
shooting.
longer any kind of threat, not that
Yeah,
he ever was. Uh, and it also, I think what probably could have happened also is one of them probably went, "He's got a gun," and then they
one
all,
says, yeah, one says there's a one alerts them all to the fact that there's a weapon.
yeah. And so a lot of things happened after that. At first, it was kind of, it was because I'm sure once you unbricked your phone, you were just glued to the timeline. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to tell you a little bit about Blood Flow 7. Are you feeling tired, sluggish, or foggy? Well, it could be poor blood flow. That's why you got to get this Blood Flow 7 by JUVENON. It's scientifically designed to support healthy circulation so you feel energized, clear-headed, and vibrant again.
Packed with natural ingredients like nitrosigine, S7, and trans resveratrol, Blood Flow 7 works by boosting nitric oxide levels, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels, helping your blood flow freely to every corner of your body. That means more oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, muscles, and even places that need a little extra help as you age. With just one dose a day, you can reclaim your stamina, support heart health, and improve overall vitality, all without caffeine or stimulants.
Try Blood Flow 7 today and feel the difference where it matters most, inside your veins. Visit bloodflow7.com/bays. Again, that's bloodflow7.com/BAES.
I kept refreshing. So no, my phone was still bricked because I was
Yeah.
gone. So I was like refreshing. I still have access to the Chrome app, and I was just like refreshing New York Times, and it's just horrific. Also, important to point out. Obviously, everyone's saying 2 people dead by ICE, Renee Good, and now Alex Pretti.
There's like
There are
9
more.
too, right?
Yeah, there's more than that. I think that's the 5th since September. Because yeah, you had Renee Good, and a lot of people have been trying to point this out. There was Keith Porter in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve.
What happened?
Silverio,
What happened there?
it's ICE agents are claiming that he raised a weapon at him. I don't think we've seen footage or anything. I think with everything I've seen after this has gone on, um, I wouldn't
Don't
buy
believe
that.
what they say. Yeah.
Not only that, I think we've seen the way they've behaved on camera. I can only imagine the things that go on off camera. I mean, we have stories. Um, there's horrific stories about. I'm sure you saw that thing being spread around. I think it was actually from the ACLU. Their reports about um, them sexually. I don't know what you would even call it. Assaulting or maiming a lot of the detainees. There's reports of young men. The ICE agents squeezing their testicles until they're I don't even know. It's horrific.
I didn't see any.
And I mean, I could probably find it. It's
Well,
here.
while you're if you're finding
I
that,
have it right here. It's at the largest immigration detention site in the country. Officers beat up Samuel, a detained teenager who uses a pseudonym, so badly he had to go to the hospital. His right front tooth broke and said one officer grabbed my testicles and firmly crushed them, while another forced his fingers deep into my ears. He added that weeks after the beating, damage to his left ear was so severe that he now has trouble hearing. It's, extreme and unlawful use of force is also prominent at Fort Bliss. Several detained individuals have described violent assaults by officers, including sexual abuse. Ignacio Samuel and others report officers crushing their testicles during beatings, tactic used while people were already restrained or after they refused coerced removal to Mexico. And
they
it
also
just goes on. There's more people alleging that treatment.
there's also that kid, I can't remember what city it's in. It might have been in LA, who got shot in the face with a non-lethal round, and now he's blind in that eye.
Oh yeah, I mean the true number of casualties from this brutal force that is supposed to be keeping Americans safe is untold.
Yeah.
The things I've seen this week, videos of a woman, she had like parts of her hand blown off from probably some kind of like canister or non-lethal whatever. It's absolutely horrific. I'm sure those people are going to have severe damage to their eyes. Those people, you see those images with the point blank, just the orange goo on their face.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it can't be good for your eyes and sinuses to have orange goo chemical irritant.
no,
No.
and I
And
guess they're
it's worth noting that these guys, I mean, it's a good reminder that these aren't like career, some of them are for sure, who have been in ICE for however long, but a good amount of them, because they were so understaffed and because of the scope and the magnitude of what the Trump administration was trying to do, uh, a lot of these are just guys who just joined. And
yeah. I mean, I don't.
and they didn't get complete training, because part of the thing, as we've talked about, is they're trying to do it quickly, and they're trying to flatter Trump's ego by doing the training in 47 days, which is just almost, I don't even know whether to believe that at this point, because it's so fucking ridiculous. But these are guys who, they have to be fucking jobless losers. Not that you're a loser if you don't have a job, but what person would quit their job to go do this instead,
Yeah, I
unless
mean,
they have anything going? And
I've
also on top of that, they're clearly trying to appeal to Proud Boys types who are like, it's the perfect marriage of the two. It's guys like that who fucking hate brown people, um, and feel like they need to do something, and not only are they able to do it, but they're getting paid to do it.
yeah, but those so yes, I think we went live after the Renee Good one, and we were talking about a lot of this. And a lot of people were pointing out that $50,000 bonus. What I have seen pointed out since then is that there's like a 5-year holding period there. You have to be employed
Oh,
by ICE for 5 years. None of these people are getting that. There's no way
no,
by 2031 you're getting that $50,000 bonus.
no.
So if there are any ICE members watching, just quit now. You're not getting that bonus,
Yeah.
and it's only going to get worse. Also, we said a similar thing about the training thing, and I didn't realize at the time of that Renee Good shooting. I guess that guy Jonathan Ross was an ICE agent for a long time, which a lot of people have been pointing out. This is yes, the training thing is ridiculous. We've flooded a city with untrained, the most unemployable right wing
Angry guys.
fantasists, and that is problematic. But this whole organization is problematic. That guy, Jonathan Ross, had been on the job for a long time and had ample training. I don't think we'll ever find out, or I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever find out who these people who shot Alex Pretti were. I think Greg Bovino was talking about how they've they removed them very quickly from Minneapolis and even Minnesota, and I think they are not releasing information about them for the safety of the ICE agents. That's what he's saying.
What did the other agent, what was his history, and are they both working right now, or are they on administrative leave?
All agents that were involved in that scene are working, not in Minneapolis, but in other locations. That's for their safety. There's this thing called doxing, and the safety of our employees is very important to us. So we're going to keep those employees safe. As far as the number of shots, the number of agents involved, that, again, is going to come out in the investigation.
So I don't think we quite know I don't think we know the status of their training. But clearly, but that's the point. I mean, when, obviously everyone's saying this is not, we need to end this. And there's obviously a contingency that's getting smaller and smaller now of saying like, well, we're going to reform it. It's like, no, that is what this is. You need to get rid of this.
Well, I guess that would be a good way to talk about what's happening now, which is that Trump spoke to Tim Walz, and they apparently agreed that the focus, which just speaks to how the focus wasn't on this, how they need to really focus on getting the criminals, getting all the criminal undocumented people out. And he's meeting with, is it Jacob Fry? Is that his name?
Oh, the mayor, yeah.
Mayor? Meeting with Fry today.
Or Frey, who knows? I'm not gonna. I don't stand by Fry. I don't stand by Frey. I don't know.
But Greg Bovino didn't get fired. He just got relocated to El Centro, I think, California.
Yeah, but according to some reporting, they're saying like it's a little bit of a process of like let's quietly, let's make him go away. But we'll see. We will see.
Yeah. And they're instead sending in the border czar, Tom Homan, who's really, God, man, this guy's so... Have you heard him talk?
I have heard him talk.
He's just a big, blustery old guy. You don't understand. And he, at least, I mean, comparatively to Greg Bovino, seems a lot more like level-headed about it, which is some kind of saving grace that, okay, at least this guy's not going to be as psychopathic and as much of a liar, if there's any good to come out of this swap.
I'd be surprised. I mean, yeah, I think he's a bit more like institutional. I think he a bit knows how to, Greg Bovino is like, he was not afraid to play up this, just the same way, if you go on Department of Homeland Security's Twitter page, it's just full of like right-wing, not even right-wing, like fully white supremacists, like Nazi shit. Greg Bovino is like not afraid to evoke that, he knows what he's doing when he's putting on the trench coat and I don't know if it was, I don't know who profiled him, but they took those kind of stark black and white images of him in the trench coat with the hair all done, and he's not afraid to be like, I like looking like an SS officer.
This guy, yeah, Jesus Christ.
And I think Tom Homan's like, I'm gonna put a fucking suit on. I'm still gonna lie to your face, but I'm gonna do it in a way that plays on CNN, and we're gonna go from here. We're gonna lower the temperature.
Yeah, Tim Walz.
I think that's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Waltz said it's a collaborative tone was struck between him and the president. And it's interesting because, we're seeing when it was going on all weekend, it was fascinating to see and extremely frustrating to see some of the right-wing Twitter influencers and accounts and whoever just lockstep defending it and saying this guy was an idiot and what was he doing going to a protest with a gun, and some even saying he pulled a gun. He clearly pulled a gun on him, and they're using just like a deceptive, just a single screenshot of the entire sequence where for a moment his hand is behind his back, but when it comes back out, he's still holding his phone. Just trying to do their... What?
Well, I was going to say the Second Amendment crowd is
Oh,
is
yeah.
awfully doing a real heel turn.
Hey guys, we got to take another quick break to talk about looking good and feeling good. You know that moment when you're running out the door and you're in a rush and you just need a shirt that looks polished without messing with an iron? That's exactly why I wear Mizzen in Maine. It's fast, sharp, and ready the second you grab it. So when I'm running out the door, going on a nice night out, I know exactly what to grab out of my closet.
I'm obsessed with this stuff, okay? Mizzen and Main makes classic menswear with performance fabrics, so it's effortless to look sharp and feel great. They actually invented the performance fabric dress shirt over 10 years ago, and since then, they've perfected it with modern fabrics. Their shirts and pants look refined, yet they're stretchy, lightweight, moisture wicking, wrinkle resistant, and completely machine washable. No ironing or dry cleaning. This stuff, it's just, you can feel it when you put their
Next
clothes on.
level,
Feel the
baby. It's
difference.
super
Yeah.
comfortable, whether you're in the office, on the road, or even out on the golf course. So it's timeless style you can invest in once and enjoy for years. That's why thousands of guys swear by Mizzen in Maine, and when they want to look good without the hassle. So right now, Mizzen in Maine is offering our listeners 20% off your first purchase at mizzenandmaine.com. Promo code BAYS20. That's Mizzen, spelled MIZZEN, and Maine, MAIN. Promo code BAYS20, that's BAES, for 20% off. MizzenandMaine.com, promo code BAYS20. And if you'd rather shop in person, you can find Mizzen and Maine stores in select states.
I mean, these guys, there's no principle they won't abandon to get on their knees for daddy.
It's
It shouldn't
really
be surprising, but it's just unbelievable.
it's it would be funny if it wasn't so scary and sad.
Yeah.
They were all just like, it's the same deal of as what they were doing with the woman who got shot, of shouldn't be there, shouldn't be impeding law enforcement, just kind of fuck around, find out, which is so, it's just not, I mean, we've talked about it. It doesn't, even if he was impeding, that's not a death sentence and shouldn't be.
Oh,
And
I
it
know.
shouldn't be an acceptable line of talking to be like, well, that's what happens. It's like, no, that's what happens if you go try to take a drink out of a still lake in the Serengeti. You're gonna get you're gonna get taken by a damn alligator, crocodile. With this, it's like the worst that should happen is you get pummeled maybe and arrested, not
Right.
fucking shot, where it's like, well, you shouldn't have been doing that, because these officers are real frightful and they're
Yeah.
real trigger happy when they get scaled.
There's a by all accounts, it seems like this man, Alex Pretti, was a very nice man. He
Yeah,
seems. We're talking about a nurse who worked in
Veterans
who worked with
Affairs.
veterans, and there's neighbors who want to come forward and give their story about how he had this old dog, and he would carry it outside just so the dog would be able to have some fresh air every day, and how he's just such a sweet man. And that is very nice, and just a shame that such a kind person was gunned down. But it's like, even if there were stories where this guy had an old dog he would just kick, nothing, that's just not how it works.
Right.
And it's, yeah, even if they are going after criminals and stuff like that, there are rules. We have rules in place that need to be followed. And yeah, I don't care who they're going after. This is just
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
it was wild. They first were running cover and supporting it and trying to gaslight everybody into thinking that that the ICE agents were justified in their actions. And I even saw some videos where it's like slow down and then they circle something meant to show that, oh yeah, he fired a shot. And I watched several of them and I'm like, I don't see what is being circled. What is being circled here? And then now, as of yesterday, those same accounts are now saying, first they went from supporting it to now saying nobody actually cares. Nobody's one guy was like, I was at the airport and I was looking over the shoulder of a few people on their phones. Nobody was Googling it. Nobody's looking it up. Everybody cares about football. Leftists are losing their minds because nobody actually cares about this outside of Twitter. And it's like, these people are they're fucking evil. Like,
I mean, we have direct evidence that that is not the case. And I have a pretty bleak outlook right now, but the one thing that, when I do vacillate between, the one thing that is giving me hope is there are so many videos of just the most normal people who have been, the amount of interviews you've seen with just a regular guy. They're like, have you been to a lot of protests before? And he's like, no, never. I'm so fucking pissed. Or just, that woman from, I believe I used to think it was Adina, but she said Edina, which is, I think, a suburb in Minnesota. People can chew me out in the comments if I get that wrong, but she seems like just a normal mom, and she's just so frustrated. And she's like, we have to, me and my husband had to go out. We got in our car and came down here because, like, this is not who we are. This is unbelievable.
Our posh home in Edina, and we were watching the news and learned that there was another shooting here. And like, we were just like, I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand what's happening here. So we came out immediately, we were here after a lot of the folks were getting pulled out and tear gas and can't see out of their own eyes because they're literally blinded by the chemicals. And so I was helping people back there, and I happened across this woman. I don't know where she is now, but she was having a panic attack. She was in the moment of having a panic attack. And I walked up and I gave her a huge hug, and I just said to her, I said, we got this. This is when we show our resolve as a city, because we're better than this. We are under attack by this administration right now, and this is not okay. It's just not. I'm a 55-year-old woman who lives in Edina, and I have to come in here and tell the world, like, we have to change this.
I think normal people have had enough.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing. Did you see that thing with Edward Norton?
No.
He's getting interviewed by the LA Times.
For what?
We have extrajudicial assaults on Americans and humans going on a daily basis now, and it's not okay. And even though all people kind of have to put one foot in front of the other and deal with the demands of the day, we cannot act like this is not happening. I think what they're doing in Minnesota with the strike needs to expand. I think we should be talking about a national general economic strike until this is over and stopped.
For some movie. It's very funny. I think he's sitting next to Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen, and Olivia Wilde is nodding along the whole time. And Seth Rogen honestly looked a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna read into it too much, but I was like, this is what why isn't? Can we get a nod out of Seth Rogen on this?
Seth Rogen sucks ass now.
Does he? I don't
become a caricature of himself, and he's like Judd Apatow, where they're both just like, their heydays behind them. Now they're just, I don't know, they're just not funny to me anymore. Don't tell them I said that.
Well, there wasn't a lot of coverage about it, but there was an incredible, I guess it would be almost a localized general strike where businesses were shutting down. The unions have been going very hard in Minnesota, and it looked like there was reporting of something like 100,000 people came out on last week to protest. And Edward Norton, in the middle of the interview, was kind of like, this all feels. It must have been post Alex Pretti. He's saying it feels very silly right now to be talking about a movie while there's this extrajudicial armed force in the country that's just assassinating Americans. And he's like, I think we need to expand what's happening in Minneapolis, and we need a national general strike. And I was like, God damn. Edward Norton is so that's where I'm like, these guys are dead wrong. I mean, people are fucking furious. I think they don't know where to channel it necessarily, but
and a lot of they are definitely an outlier, and it's been nice looking at their reach, which is, I think, significantly diminished, and seeing the amount of replies to them and stuff are mainly people hating on them and telling them they're fucking morons, and reminding myself that they're probably a lot of bots and stuff. And yeah, that piece of shit Jack Posobiec just today quote retweeted some fucking shithead's account that was making fun of Pretti. And the tweet has like 4.2 million views. And all Posobiec said was 4.2 million views, as if to say 4.2 million people agree with this dog shit take. He's just the most. I want that guy's head to explode. Like, he's been an agitator and a troll, and has played a significant role in Trump ascending to power twice. And most people don't even know who he is. Like, you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who famously held up his big claim to fame years ago was during like 2015 or 2016. He infiltrated a liberal a rally at for Hillary or something, and held a sign that said "Rape Melania," and then used that photo, and they spread it all over, and it was all over Breitbart and Fox News. And it's that kind of shit. That was just one instance. They do it all the fucking time. And they're evil, dirty little rat fucker people who are subhuman to me. And you can see it in his eyes. He's got dead psychopath eyes. He has no soul.
Hey guys, we got to take a quick break to thank a sponsor, HIMS. Okay, if you're anything like us, we know the importance of a full head of hair, and
it's how we got so successful.
When hair starts to thin, confidence can too. That's why HIMS makes it simple to feel like yourself again, with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life and your hair goals.
Yeah, HIMS offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Its doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. HIMS brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs. Just real personalized care on your schedule.
Yeah, think of HIMS as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns all in one place. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/baes, BAES. That's hims.com/baes, that's BAES, for your free online visit. hims.com/baes.
Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride.
Yeah.
He claims to be a Catholic, and then he's like posted. Did you see the thing with the beads that he did a few months ago, or like a month ago?
I'm not as hooked into right-wing freaks.
They drive me insane because I feel like I could.
You know, maybe you could explain this for me. Have you seen? So obviously, we're in such a weird era where I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are doing anymore. So have you seen I believe it was either the White House or it was like one of those DHS accounts. They post the penguin from the documentary with Werner Herzog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? And he turns, and the penguin turns away. What are they trying to say? So maybe we can maybe we'll edit it in and post so people can, if they haven't seen this.
I didn't stop to watch it because I was just like, oh, it's another fucking piece of.
Oh, I honestly don't understand what they're trying to say. The
penguin. The penguin.
I think it's like that the penguin. Yeah, the penguin leaves his pack and is choosing to go his own way. I don't know. I am so confused what the White House is trying to signal with this fucking thing. I'm like.
And what I read on someone replied to it and was like, what actually ends up happening in this documentary is that the penguin went crazy and goes to kill himself.
Yes, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think the rest are all going to like whatever, some breeding ground or something they all go to, and the penguin goes crazy and
Goes
just
to
like
dig
turns
himself.
around and yeah, I mean maybe it's
He goes to join penguin ice to deport all the walruses.
maybe it's a good metaphor for what's going
Yeah.
on in this country. Maybe they're just admitting it. We've been taken over by unfuckable, unemployable losers who have captured all the power, and we're now just gonna pay while they're on their suicide death drive.
And you can see it in their body language, in the way that they dress, in their like love handles and stuff, in their shoes and shit. It's just like, oh, these are guys cosplaying. These aren't real. These aren't They're fucking pathetic wieners, man. You see them and they're just like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but I think the most frustrating thing for me is that like I do think the numbers are on our side when it
Oh,
comes to
big time.
like people who are normal and who are like, this is psychotic, this is not what we're about. And I think that's a broad spectrum I'm describing. I think that's people, that's people who are like, I'm open borders, just let people stay, all the way to like, I do think we like need immigration crackdown, but I don't like the way that it looks. I think that this looks. I think that entire spectrum is a like massive amount of people who are like, this is sicko shit. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing.
Enough is enough. Yeah.
And I think that far outnumbers those people. The unfortunate thing is those people are in power. And like that might be, I don't know, 20 to 25% of the country that feels like that, which is still a lot of people.
The unfortunate thing also is that those people are the ones who really do show up and vote. And also, people have a very short memory. And unfortunately, by the time the midterms happen later this year, I feel like it's going to be absolutely a distant memory. That when Democrats try to bring it up, it's going to get memory hold the way January 6th did, where they're going to be like, that didn't happen the way you say it did. And if it did, you're overreacting. And Trump actually fixed it. If you remember, he went in and said, this is bad. And they're going to reframe it in such a way that people who voted for Trump are still going to vote. They're still going to vote Republican. I hope
I
that
don't
that's
know. I don't.
I hope that people are. I have to think that people are like, I'm fucking done. I'm sick of this shit. Enough is enough. Losing
Yeah.
our alienating ourselves on the world stage. All this shit. It's a nonstop flurry of bullshit. And I hope people are sick of it. The ones who voted Republican.
I think that, yeah, I don't know. I do agree that people have short memories, but I just don't. I think this is going to continue to escalate, unfortunately, until November. I think my big fear is, and which I don't quite understand. I've been trying to look into what it exactly means, but if people haven't seen, there was that. Is it Chris Murphy? Is that the senator from Connecticut? I think it is. Chris Murphy was talking about that letter, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen, where Pam Bondi sent Tim Walz a letter saying, hey, we'll leave Minnesota, just hand over all your voter rolls and everything. And maybe and Chris Murphy's fear is that this is their plan for many of these swing states, which Minnesota goes pretty blue, I think, year after year. But he's like, it's going to be it'll be Arizona and Phoenix. They'll try to do it. My thing is, I'm just not exactly sure how the voter rolls play into them trying to do some kind of election problems. But that's been my fear from the jump in the Trump 2.0 era is messing with elections. I think if we have fair elections in 2026, I have a hard time. Actually, that's not even with the way the Democrats have fucked this up so bad, and that's the problem. There's nowhere to channel this energy because we don't have a proper opposition party to this. Prior to this happening, there was the latest vote in the House on the spending bill, the latest spending bill. 7 Democrats broke with Democrats to vote with Republicans to pass through this bill, which had something like an additional $10 billion to ICE. Billion. And they all thought it would be fine because, no one's paying attention, even though they just executed a woman. Now they're all having buyer's remorse because they look like fucking ghouls.
Yeah.
After Alex Pretti was executed. And the senators who were going to push through the spending bill are all going, no, we vow to not. We're not going to vote for this if there's any money for ICE. And you have these 7 people. Tom Suozzi from New York is one who he had to send out an email to all his. He got so much pushback.
Guys, I'm sorry about that. I thought it was something else entirely. I didn't know. Shit.
Look, I said I can live with one woman being executed, but when they did that second guy, that's when I said, hey, you know what? That one's on me.
Hey, what are you doing? ICE? Cut it out.
And you see these videos of lawmakers being like, look, I'm as concerned as you. They're doing like a little front-facing video. That's why I'm working with my team to make sure ICE always has their body cams on. And ICE is that, and it's like, dude, we're way past that.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care.
I got into it with a guy on Twitter. We ended up taking the conversation to DMs. And it was...
No way.
Yeah.
You're a madman. Was it someone you knew?
No. And it was crazy making. His thing was hardline. We are a nation of laws, and the law dictates that these people have to go. And Waltz and Fry were actively getting in the way of that, which is on them. And then they were encouraging citizens to actively get in the way, which is on them. Hey guys, we want to take one last quick break to talk about saving money, because everybody wants to save money. I was spending God knows how many hours a month trying to manage my finances before Rocket Money. And now it's just a couple minutes, baby. That's all I need to do. Because organizing your finances on your own can be a bit of a brutal task. But that's where Rocket Money comes in. It really helped me cut spending on some of the egregious subscriptions that I had going. And they help me get it under control.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. This thing's incredible. I'm sure we all have no idea what's going on
Nobody does.
On our credit card every month, and every month I go to pay it and I go, how did that happen? But Rocket Money helps you get in there and understand what's actually going on.
Yeah, it's got the ability to track subscriptions and has the ability to cancel within the app with just a few taps. And it's also got automatic transaction categorization, plus customizable categories and tags to reveal spending patterns and add context. You can set budgets and goals, get personalized insights and regular reports. It consolidates your checking, savings, loans, and investments into a single dashboard to give you a clear view of your financial picture. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/Baze. That's rocketmoney.com/BAES. rocketmoney.com/Baze. And also, this guy, it was his fault for getting shot, blah, blah, blah. It was very just like, oh, and he also said, this issue is not systemic. This is just a...
oh my God.
The first one was, also her fault because she tried to run over an officer. And this one, that makes 2. Can you tell me where else this is happening? And I said, well, Chicago, LA, they were in New York. And I admitted, I was like, I don't think that it's as bad. Minnesota is definitely like the ground zero for all this. And he's like, that's exactly my point. You Democrats won't, follow the law and all this shit. And I said, look, my argument is that the rhetoric and what was the other word? Just the rhetoric and everything that is sour and malicious that is just that everything of this time is being stewed in comes from the top down. You've got the president of the United States and like senior members of his staff tweeting shit. Stephen Miller calling this guy an assassin, a domestic terrorist who was there to assassinate a potential assassin. You had Bovino saying he was there to massacre law enforcement. And I was trying to drive home the point to this guy that that's the killing itself is on its face a killing that did not need to happen if they were better trained and you name it. But the bigger issue here is that the fucking
But honestly, on that point, like that's the thing. I want to keep coming back because people keep stressing this training thing. I
Yeah.
do think it is systemic. It's like this, and everyone. It's also not just like a Trump 2.0 thing. There were, Christ, what was it when did AOC go down to the border and everyone got pissed at her because like the right wing got pissed at her because she was crying about what she had seen. But there was reporting during that time that they had gotten ICE group chats and they leaked the most horrific things, like talking about like raping AOC, just like
Remember
killing
that, yeah.
the most horrific things. This is like from its inception a rogue agency. It is systemic. It is out of control. I mean, look at who was leading this entire thing. Just like SS Bovino in his little trench coat. I mean, these people. Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but it's just like
No.
it's so ingrained in this thing, and it is not just. It's not just Minneapolis. I mean, it's impossible to keep up with all these things that are happening. But like, dude, Alligator Alcatraz, which we've all just like stopped talking about. I saw from a reporter at Zateo, he was talking about how apparently there's reporting that 2/3 of those people at Alligator Alcatraz have just disappeared from the ICE tracking service. And so their family just has no idea where they are at that point. We have no idea what's going down there. There's so many stories that we also just haven't even heard of. There was another one that got floated after all of this happened where the guy, I believe the son was an American citizen. His father was maybe not, but his father was his caretaker. He suffered from a rare disease. And I think he had said, if they come take my father, I'll die. He's the only one keeping me alive. ICE grabs him. The guy's dead now.
I mean, I'm sure you heard about the one where they ate at a Mexican restaurant and then came back later that night and fucking took everybody. Yeah, they're it's cruelty is the point. And it's really disgusting. And yeah, I was just trying to get this guy to understand, and he just didn't seem to care about rhetoric. He didn't seem to care that these official White House accounts are tweeting like actual. I mean, I know it's like it can be a bit of a crying wolf situation with certain liberal talking points and stuff. This is actual, like, provable white nationalist Nazi propaganda that they're tweeting out. And Stephen Miller,
dude, and like
them coming out and calling him a domestic terrorist, and all this shit is so fucking harmful. Within hours of the guy being dead, there's no call for an investigation. There's no calling for anything. They're fully using it, which speaks to their intent in sending these guys to these places. If their intent was truly, we're just here to, take out the criminals, then they would be doing everything they can to throw water on the fire. But instead, they're using it to elevate and amplify and get temperatures rising.
You have to be willfully ignorant to think that they're not doing that. It's I literally still had it up because I was reading it right before we jumped on. There's this New York Times article, administration social media posts echo white supremacist messaging. A flurry of posts from the White House Department of Labor and Department of Homeland Security have included images, slogans, and even a song used by the white nationalists, right? And there are just so many.
They ended up deleting that Instagram post, by the way.
I know. The one that
actual...
says, "We'll have our home again."
Yeah.
Ben's referring to the fact that I think a journalist, so they posted this thing that said, "We'll have our home again," which is from some, it's the name of a song written by the pro-white fraternal order that's embraced by Proud Boys and white nationalist groups. And a journalist pointed out and said, "Hey, you guys posted something that's like fully white supremacist." And she was like, no, we didn't. And she was like, "Well, yeah, you did. It's actually the title of a song." And she was like, "No, that's, a lot of people say that." And then they were like, "Well, actually, you guys used the song too. It's playing in the thing." And she said, "No, we didn't." And then they just deleted it. But yeah, it's all kinds of neo-Nazi, ethnic cleansing. It's just insane.
Not only that, I think the thing that, I mean, there are so many different aspects to this that just make my blood boil. And one of them is that fucking asshole Caroline Leavitt, who's the press secretary, right?
Lovett or Levitt?
Yeah. She's just...
John Lovett should team up with her and do a pod.
She stinks.
No, not John Lovitz. No. John Lovett is the pod save guy who
Whoops.
Who has... I think he has a show like called Love It or Leave It, and it would be good if he did one with Love It or Leave It.
Well, I mean, just she will do whatever she needs to defend and back up Trump. I mean, I'm sure you saw when he was addressing Davos, and he referred to Greenland as Iceland like 5 times, and she was like, "You guys are stupid." He clearly called it the land of ice or something like that, and it's just. It's fucking crazy making. But what's
like
nice
I said earlier, there's no these people will go to, it doesn't matter, they have no issue. They have no qualms about completely debasing themselves.
Yeah. I suppose a good another silver lining is that Trump and Leavitt are distancing themselves from Kristi Noem and like Stephen Miller, and they're realizing, hey, this isn't actually as popular as we thought it was, and this is actually pretty bad. It's a bad look, so they're kind of backing off. But still, it's like, oh, great. So they were going 120 miles an hour, now they're only going 105.
Sure, I mean, this is
barreling down the highway.
Yeah, this is a lot to unwind. Just right before we hopped on, a Border Patrol agent has shot someone in Arizona, and they're in critical. Yeah, they
shouldn't have been doing that. Whatever they were doing, I'm sure that the officer acted exactly professionally and as they should have. So,
yeah, my hope is that Democrats can actually find some kind of stones to be a true opposition party here. I think, I've been seeing friends. I think I've been at dinner with people like the last 3 nights, and it is crazy. Just very normal people are like, I want motherfuckers in jail. I want public trials, and I think that's right. And I think someone needs to match this. I think we need to,
Well, a lot could change if the Democrats win a majority in the midterms. Can't they do an impeachment?
Yeah. And that's, there's very funny reporting from, it was an Axios meeting where Ted Cruz was like, I think it was last year, he was in a meeting with Trump trying to get Trump to cool off on basically, it seems like everyone was surprised by the Trump 2.0. They came out hot, and I think he was trying to at least get him to cool the temperature on the tariffs and some of the crazier stuff. And he was going, He's going like, look, if you sink everyone's 401ks and everything starts getting more expensive, by the time November 2026 rolls around, you're going to be looking at a very different congressional makeup, and you're going to be facing impeachments every other week. And according to Ted Cruz, when he told Trump that, Trump said, "Fuck you, Ted."
Oh, Ted Cruz is a perfect example of the entire GOP apparatus. Just he's been personally insulted. His wife was insulted. His father was insulted by Trump. Trump clearly does not give a shit about him or respect him, but that has not deterred Ted Cruz from just gulping down whatever bodily fluids Trump excretes
Yeah.
on any given day.
If he
And
leaves a little on the floor, he's getting on his knees and lapping it up.
lapping it up. Fuck that guy. There have been, like we were saying, there have been a lot of there have been some centrists and people in the Republican Party who have been speaking up about it, including
Yes, important to note that there has been some people,
which
who
is
have
nice. There's the guy who was Chris Medell. He dropped out of the governor's race in Minnesota because he called this ICE thing an unmitigated disaster, and he said he no longer wants to be part of the GOP. Congressman from Kentucky, a senator from Louisiana are calling for investigations. I mean, but as is everything with Trump, this will be old news in a week, 2 weeks. They know, okay, this is wildly unpopular. We got to reel it in big time and then divert to the next big thing, be it revisiting Iran, Venezuela, Greenland,
right?
You name it. You got to hand it to them. They're fucking masters at it. They're masters, but they're idiots because I don't think that there is that much thought going into it. It's just they're fucking God.
No, but they're not like masters. They're masters in the sense that they're like gamblers who aren't afraid to take a big risk and really push people out with a bluff. And I think that works, but they have no short-term plan. They have no long-term plan, and they're racking up these like weird short-term power grabs. But it's all going to collapse at some point. It's just a matter of how much damage they do. And yeah, I don't know. November is a long time away. I do want to say on that Ted Cruz note, sometimes the Republicans they describe Democrats as the way I would like Democrats to behave. You know, they'll describe them as like, oh, well, if the Democrats take power, they're gonna seize control and give everyone health care. And you're like, wow, that sounds great. And then they seize control and don't do anything like that. So yeah, we will see if they get some massive blue wave in November. We'll see what kind of spine they have. We'll see what
we'll also see what kind of bullshit that the administration is going to throw come that time. What other shit and nonsense is going to come up and rear its head that they're going to toss in the ring for this. Meanwhile, on some Putin shit, there was this
on some Putin shit.
There was this private jet that crashed, which is tragic on its face, and 8 people were killed in it. And allegedly, the jet belongs to prominent anti-ICE / anti-Trump lawyers, and it crashed.
Is that just from a tweet, though?
It is from this. Let's see,
because I saw someone tweet that, and then I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find it. And also, the only thing I'll say about
the
that,
AF Post.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's the America First Post. Oh God,
I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. And even if it was true, they were flying in some pretty severe weather. I don't know what they were doing. They were basically flying at a time when every flight was grounded. I think we hadn't had so many flights.
Oh God, yeah, that's so irresponsible.
I don't think we had the last time we had that many flights canceled, it was COVID.
You know, it reminds me of the saying: there are bold pilots and there are old pilots. There are no old bold pilots.
I wish JFK Jr. could have heard that.
Yeah, he got disoriented. He had no business flying in that. Yeah, I'm looking at this ABC News thing. I totally got taken by that. I
Yeah,
just saw
yeah.
it at first and I was like, oh, that's scary. And then I saved it and I never revisited it.
I would say pretty much with the way Twitter works now these days, and I'm no stranger to getting duped.
We
But
all
you
get
pretty much,
duped all the
oh
time.
yeah, you pretty much always have to. You got to Google it. It's
Well, I guess that brings us to, we could talk about TikTok for a little bit because the new
it's
American,
finally a U.S. entity.
yeah. And one of the things we just discussed today, was it Krasenstein?
Yes, which I'm not super familiar with him. I do think he's like, I think he's like he's got a little Mario Luigi thing going on with his brother. They're like the liberal Mario brothers or something, and they just like post.
I get him confused with Ken Klippenstein.
No. Ken Klippenstein, or I think it might be Stein, is he's a great journalist, a great independent journalist who is like constantly breaking stuff. People always leak to him. He broke great stuff about ICE. He was getting a lot of ICE leaks. He's always
Got it. I get him
the best
confused
tips.
with Brian Krasenstein,
Who I think is just like guy who does front facing lib vids.
I think he's a lib coded Facebook kind of.
He seems to be doing well for himself though.
He's
We're
a
happy for him.
sensationalist, and he does what I would say a lot of right wingers do, which is make big deals out of something and allege a big thing and blast it out there. I guess you could call it for a greater good in this case, but he was saying that the new ownership of TikTok has banned the word Epstein from being used and he had, to his credit, he had a screenshot, he had a video recording of it.
Yeah, a video.
And then I tried it immediately, no problem. In my
But
Epstein,
I have seen more people post similar things. I don't ever go on TikTok, so I don't know. Also, this at the same time, he was also posting similar things, which I saw other people post, like more left-leaning people post screenshots of their TikToks all of a sudden doing 0 views, sometimes like 0 to 1,000 views. And these are people like Brian Krasenstein who will get sometimes 20,000, if not a million views on things. And then all of a sudden people were posting their videos about Alex Pretti and they were getting no traction. And people are pointing to the fact that it is now this U.S. entity owned by Larry Ellison, and they're doing a little bit of backdoor algorithmic.
Right. But what's weird is, like, when I was on Twitter today or TikTok today, I had granted I wasn't following any of these accounts, but my feed, my For You page, which features stuff that you don't follow, it's just the algorithm feeding you stuff. I saw stuff that was talking about ICE and talking about a general strike and talking about Alex Pretti. I wonder if there's things about the algorithm that we just aren't privy to. Maybe there's regional things that they're experimenting with. Maybe there's still some fucking glitches to be worked out as the keys are getting handed over. I wonder also if they're doing some kind of throttling.
Well, they did come out and say that there was some kind of outage, but I don't quite understand how that would mean that these specific videos were getting 0 views. I know another big one was the guy, Billie Eilish's brother, Phineas, I think his name is.
I was going to call him T-Bis or something.
T-Bis?
Yeah, T-Bis Eilish.
T-Bis Eilish, his video absolutely tanked, which he usually gets. T-Bis usually goes big numbers on.
Well, I was going to say also, I wonder if they've done, like, you know how YouTube and Facebook, for that matter, have sometimes changed how they count a view.
Yeah.
I wonder if they've been tweaking stuff like that and it's just not updating in the thing. Whereas there are still, like, I would be curious to look at these accounts later and see if all of a sudden they've got a ton of views on these same videos.
Yeah.
Instead
there's also reporting on that Meta is making sure that people cannot. So I think people were trying to put together a list of ICE agents, information about ICE agents, and they were sharing it on Instagram and Facebook, and Meta is blocking the sharing of that document as well. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess
we've come a long way from people being like, social media is going to be it's going to be our revolutionary tool. You just log in and you can you can tell people to fuck off, and we're gonna topple the government.
It's the worst thing for all of humanity. I think it's the it's single-handedly like the most disruptive and destructive thing in the last 30 years.
There is actually I believe there was maybe talks of a settlement, but I think the first of many cases of teens suing Instagram and TikTok and other social media apps for
mental health.
Yeah, and like addiction. And I think it's the first of its kind. I'm very curious what will happen, but I do think there was talk of a settlement being reached before an actual decision will come. But it seems like more and more are going to come. Yeah.
I'm going to come.
No.
I thought of a good rap lyric last night.
Hit me. On that Putin shit.
She called me Costco the way I come in bulk.
Oh, nice. You're like bragging about your big loads.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny.
She called me Costco the way I come in bulk.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But there's no song around the lyric. So.
Yeah, well, is the song largely about how
just to say there's no song. There's just that single line I thought was clever.
Oh, okay, so you don't want to
try to sell it to Big Mike or something for like $100. Got this line.
Hey, I don't know if you normally do this, but or you need to find someone who maybe has big loads.
Yeah, definitely. How am I going to do that? You mean a rapper who also has big loads?
Yeah, I would say post the story to Instagram and say looking for a rapper with big loads. Please.
Because we definitely don't want a rapper to be lying about their loads.
No, which would piss me off. I'd be really pissed.
All rappers must if I were president, all rappers have to tell the truth in their rhymes.
Day one.
No exaggerating. You got to be accurate about how many diamonds and cars and money you have and women and stuff and friends.
Are you going to haul in Big Mike to be like, okay, now let's see one of those loads. I want to make sure they're coming in bulk.
Yeah, jerk off for me, Big Mike. I love Big Mike. All right, anyway, that's a good place to stop. Folks, thanks for joining us. We're going to have a banger of a bonus episode. We're going to be talking about Kanye West. Finally going to talk about the Built 2.0 card. I'll explain that.
Dude, I'm pissed about the
I am too, but
I'll tell.
What is Ryan Wedding? Oh, I put that in there. It's that guy who's I was like, whose wedding is who's Ryan? What wedding are we talking about? And then, of course, one of my favorite new conspiracy theories circulating on Facebook is the Leviathan. So we'll be talking about.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, depending on where you are, stay safe and stay warm. It's
yeah, please.
I'm freezing my little toots off.
Not me here in sunny Southern California.
Is it super hot there?
It's hot during the day and cold as hell at night. So
well, it says it feels like 4 degrees right now. So
that's awesome. See, I like that, man. Get out there.
No, it's very fun. We'll talk about it in the bonus. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. All right, folks. We will see you next week and also in the bonus.
Coming up on this week's episode of benandemilshow.com.
Are you excited about the new Harry Styles album?
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, he's got a new he has a new Harry Styles album coming out.
Well, I guess he just has a new album coming out.
No, he has a new Harry Styles album. It's coming out.
Who?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles has a new Harry Styles album coming out?
Yeah, he does. He has.
But wouldn't it just be Harry Styles has a new album coming out?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. He has a new Harry Styles album coming out. Yeah. Ryan Wedding. Guess he's not going to be having much of a honeymoon.
That's good.
Guess he's not going to. Guess he's getting divorced from drugs.
Have you been watching The Quad God?
No, what's the Quad God? Is it on Mubi?
I wish. There's this kid who's like
Quadriplegic?
No, he's
Gay.
he might be. He's a figure skater who's like lighting the whole sport on fire. No one does it like the Quad God.
Quad God, Ilya Malinin.
Yes. I think
He's a
both of his
21
parents...
figure skater, 21-year-old figure skater. He's the first skater to land a quadruple axel in competition and can land all 6 types of quadruple jumps. Hence
the
the name
Quad God.
Wow. I hope no tragedy befalls him before the Winter Olympics.
There's literally nothing.
I mean, like an
talking-
injury, not like death.